Hello, I'm Richard, and welcome to my lunar transit report. Today I'll be talking about the new moon in Cancer taking place on Friday, July 5th at 4:58 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, this will be the sixth new moon of this Rave New Year. And to keep in mind that we can look at every new moon as the headline to the chapter of the book of the year, right? Each month we have a new moon and we can get a sense of the thematic of what may be taking place in the transit field for the coming month and what we may be working with in regard to those transits. Of course, we always want to follow personal authority. But with this transit report, we can get a sense of where things will be coming into our life, looking at our body graph and how we are being impacted. If you would like personal support in this, please reach out to me for a consultation. You can contact me at emergebydesign.net. But yes, we're in our sixth lunar cycle of the year. Now, it started with the Rave New Year. And back then in January, that chart for the Rave New Year had one individual channel, the channel of the perfected form, the design of survival. This is part of the integration field, the backbone of what it means to be an individual. And when I say this word individual, I'm talking about this deep inner core of who we each are, what our personal truth is, how we experience our own emotional spirit, our personal inspiration and purpose in life. Every new moon has been overwhelmingly oriented with this storyline. And this new moon does again, because it is taking place in gate 39 in the root center in the body graph in Cancer. Well, let's start with Cancer. First of all, Cancer is ruled by the moon herself. She is at home here. So, in that sense, it's one of the most powerful new moons we'll have all year because we typically only get one new moon in Cancer as we are this year. So, in that sense, we're talking about our home, our family, our inner world, our inner security. Cancer is a sign of sensitivity, and it's always seeking inner security, tranquility, and equanimity. So that's a big overriding theme of this lunar month ahead of us. The moon herself is in gate 39 in Cancer, which is called the gate of provocation. This is a root center pressure to find our inner emotional spirit. And of course, the sun is there too because they're conjunct, the moon and the sun, which puts the earth in the opposite gate, 38, also in the root center. In fact, if you look at the root center in the body graph, we have all three of the individual pressure gates activated. The third one being Pluto, who is currently still in retrograde in gate 60. So, what this is saying is that we are going to be under a bit of pressure around these themes of personal inspiration. What is my purpose in this life right now? And how do I experience and feel tranquility and inner peace amidst all of the chaos that we're living on this planet right now? It is a bit out of a hand, but yet this symbolism here of this theme is we want to work on things internal. We often think that if we can change and alter external reality, we'll feel better about it. But what we're seeing in this theme right now, it's about inner work, inner development, inner security. And so this is where the pressure may come from. So anything this month that may be triggering or destabilizing, or the typical things when we talk about individual circuit group itself, being uneasy, uncertain, feeling insecure. Those may be natural feelings this month, but they're asking us to go inward. Where do we need to do the inner development, possibly healing work, forgiveness work to feel that tranquility? Now, adding to the sensitivity of this lunar cycle, we also have Venus in Cancer squaring Chiron. Venus is in gate 62 in the body graph, the gate of logical details in a voice expression gate. And Venus is squaring Chiron, who is currently moving still in Aries through gate 42, the gate of growth. Now, this square can bring some tension to this cycle. Venus being the love and harmony and beauty that we want, is up against a hard wall with this wounded healer. And so this is where we may not feel like we're getting the support we need from others. We may have be in conversations with people that are close to us that are providing some degree of friction, that we're not making the progress that we'd like to have by now. But I would say that this chart is encouraging patience right now. Wherever we're getting that resistance, just to stop, take some deep breaths, regulate our nervous system, and ask ourselves, what is being asked of me right now? Not projecting it out onto the other person or situation, but use it as an indicator to go inward and see how we can experience a greater degree of healing, possibly forgiveness, as we move through what can be things from our past. Um, we still have things sometimes that family, we're in the sign of Cancer, that can ignite or stimulate elements of our psyche that need to be examined and dealt with. And I'm really referring to the healing aspect of these types of things. Now, adding some support to the lunar cycle is that Mars is in gate 23, another throat expression gate, the gate of assimilation. So he's bringing a lot of energy to express our own personal insights and ideas about what all is happening here. So strong energy to communicate with both Mars and Venus in throat gates. And Mars is in a sextile to Saturn at this new moon. Well, Saturn is in retrograde in gate 22, the gate of grace, another individual gate, and it's about our emotional energy to express our individuality. So, with Mars in this sextile, this free flowing, supportive energy with Saturn, it could be a very good month for communicating and talking about these issues that we're dealing with, whether it be with the person themselves or the family member or a therapist, anyone that can support us in our inner world and our inner healing situation that we may be dealing with. Now, Saturn in that gate 22, wherever we see Saturn, he is asking us to develop, to have maturity. He is the taskmaster, so it's not always easy. We often feel him through limitations and resistance that we have the opportunity and invitation to work through, grow from, and build maturity. But he's offering this restructuring frequency of how we share our inner emotional world with our loved ones, or any relationships really. But again, this idea of there's this opportunity for development in our communication, to improve our communication, to be able to share what's really going on inside of us. So again, with so many individual gates activated for every new moon we've had, and including this one, not only is the new moon in an individual gate, not only do we have all three individual pressure gates activated, overall 8 out of the 13 activations in the body graph for this new moon are all individual. So I just encourage us to contemplate, whenever we're feeling resistance, challenge, and limitations in the world right now, this month, let's go inward. Let's hold ourselves, give ourselves the self nourishment and self care. A lot of support for that right now. With the moon in her home sign at the moment of this new moon, there's a lot of supportive frequency to really hold our soul, to really appreciate where we are in this life, and to find new and enhanced ways to take care of ourselves and our loved ones. I hope you all have a lovely new moon, and I look forward to seeing you in the next report. Thank you.